Hey, it's Subcool, WeedNerd.
And MzJill.
Get your bowls,
and your bongs,
your pipes, your vaporizers.
and your big fat blunts.
It's time to get high with the WeedNerd.
Well, I'm a weed nerd. It's called me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. Weed nerd, nothing but the hard way. So won't you come my way? So won't you come my way? Weed nerd. It's called me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. Weed nerd, nothing but the hard way. Smoke a lot of herb, smoke a lot of herb.
Come on, weed nerds, let's all get down to that old school sound with that K-Lou pound. Put seeds in the ground, tilling up the dirt. Shovel in my hand and I'm putting in work. Weed nerd, connoisseur, growing the killer. In the backyard with the mountain gorilla. Game stiller, still another, what you think? MzJill's got tips on growing the dank. Cheesequake, Aldo, Indo funky. Time wreck, hash laced in my blunt sleeve. Skunky, smelly, space bomb sticky. Stepped in the dough, got the whole team with me. Iggy Pops, my city's hot. Ukiah, California, got the green on lock. Chillin' in my weed crop, blowing some herb. Dope boy, OD, yeah, I'm a weed nerd.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again on the WeedNerd Live Show. Got a pretty exciting show for you guys tonight. As someone just typed in the chat, we have an all-star panel for you guys tonight. Can't wait till we get to no stupid questions tonight because, wow, do we have a big panel. I want to get the show started tonight by going over a couple of things. Of course, tonight in our channel, we have David with Xtreme Gardening. David. I'm sorry. With growth efficiency. He is the creator of Method 1. You guys know we've featured Method 1 on the show before. We've been using it to help control gnats and other things. Also on the show tonight, we have Xtreme Gardening in their Azos in our garden right now. So we're happy to have them in. And of course, Duke Diamond from Brothers Grin and Remo. So we're going to be a good show tonight. I want to get to business real quick first. So this week's fundraiser is Josh LaCroix. Josh LaCroix is an Alpha 1 survivor. He's on the transplant list, and we're trying to raise enough money to get him a car. He has to have a car in order to get the transplant. So that's one of the people raising money for. I'll be telling you a little bit more about the second person we're raising money for. Her name is Katrina Rose Sellis, and her family. She's a 10-year-old girl that has a really violent form of cancer. So we're going to try to raise a little bit of money and get it to her. GoFundMe. So I want to kick it real quick and just talk to everybody on the panel real quick. I'm going to start real quick with David. David, how are you doing tonight?
Doing great, Subcool. Glad to be here.
Awesome. And we're going to get down to your product in just a little bit, but I know that we've been starting to use your Xtreme products for a good bit. We've been using the teas, the Mykos, and the Azos, so we look forward to learning more about it. Thank you, Morbid Floors, for the $20 donation. We really appreciate it. Kicking it over next to my good friend from the South, Duke Diamond. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good, buddy. How are you, man?
Life is sweet. The sun is shining and the crops are growing.
Here's to that.
So is it still snowing down there? Fuck, it was snowing last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was weird. We had like a real easy going, pretty warm winter, and then it just snowed out of nowhere, and I think it was like 90 today.
Yes, I know. We did the same kind of crap. I got to tell you guys a quick story before I get on the rest of the panel. So Jill was here last Sunday, and we were in the bedroom, and it was about 3:30 in the afternoon, and it was like 84 in the bedroom. It's not a temperature we normally deal with. And she's like, why is it so fucking hot in here? I said, because we haven't shifted the lights to nighttime yet, because literally it was like winter on Monday, on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday it's 100 fucking degrees. It's like, holy crap. So we got everything shifted. The temperatures are going a little better now, so we're going to vote about that. We'll get back to Duke in just a second down in Colorado. Tonight, hanging out, watching everything go round and round. DungBeetle, our head moderator. How you doing tonight, Mr. Producer?
Doing good, brother man. Ready for this big show. We put together something really awesome this week, and I think this is going to be cool, man. David, Duke, Josh, all of you guys, thank you very much. MzJill especially, thank you guys so much for joining us. We're happy to have you, and this really is going to be a killer-ass panel. I'm stoked.
Yep, absolutely. Next on the panel, we have Josh. We're really happy to have you tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about amending and the lasagna. I'm hoping you can help us work on this lasagna a little bit. How are you doing tonight?
Dude, I'm doing great, Sub. Battling this hotel Wi-Fi, so bear with me. It's the hotel life.
We understand, brother. We do understand. We have a couple people that live in the hotels. Next, but not least, is our media director, Malik. You guys don't know, Malik lives to fucking hang around other people's live streams and help it function. So we're proud to have him on our staff. How are you doing tonight, Malik?
Doing great. Just happy to be here with you guys for a good cause, John St. Croix and the charity, and happy to get high with the Weed Nerds always.
That's what I'm talking about. And next, Mr. Nice is Minnesota Nice is hanging out with us tonight. He works very hard behind the scenes, making sure everything's working. He's also in control of our soundboard until we get ours working here. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, we're doing great over here, Sub. Thank you. As again, I appreciate you for having me, and I want to thank the panel for being here with us tonight. You guys are amazing, and like you mentioned earlier, this is going to be a great episode, and I look forward to everything it brings to the table.
Cool. Next, we have my beautiful wife, MzJill. We're going to talk to her tonight about moving an entire fucking garden from one point A to point B, theoretically. Baby, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, everybody. I'm doing great tonight. Glad to be here. How is everyone?
Rocking. What you smoking over there tonight? What you got in your little tray, Galactic?
Yes, I've got some Galactic here.
I knew it.
Great.
I sure heard Jill talk.
Great pheno.
Yes.
Amazing shit.
Sure. You should have heard her talk about it the other day. She's like, we were laying there pillow talking. She's like, I think this grape pheno is the most special one out of the whole batch. She said she obviously likes it.
She ain't kidding. It really is.
1 out of 1,000.
Yeah, it's fire. I liked it a lot.
And last but not least, the man with the plan. He told me he was going to roll 10 joints to come hang out with us tonight. Bullshit. In the house tonight, we got Remo. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Subcool. Thanks for having me. Hello, everybody.
Oh, yeah, good to see
Hey,
you.
Remo.
I guess it's time to supercharge. I guess I'll have to roll one of those things up. Just
Hey, nice to meet you.
It's awesome.
And yeah, so we do this kind of unofficially. On the live show, it's a little more official, but we're going to take a few seconds right now, and it's time to get high with the Weed Nerd. So load up your bowls, your bongs, your 3-hole rigs, or I'm using a Earl Dab rig, and I'm smoking some Sherbert solventless full melt. It comes out of the refrigerator's granules and then melts into a slight putty. It's very, very, very good. Thank everybody for watching. 244 people already in the channel for the show tonight. Don't forget the after show tonight where we play music and act like idiots. Panel is welcome to join as well. Just so the panel knows, we used to play music during the show, but YouTube kept killing our show. So we'd like to preserve this content for everyone else down the road. So that's why we do it like we do it now. What you smoking tonight, Duke?
The 187, man. It's fucking good.
Understatement to you.
Sounds like some shit that will just murder your ass.
So far, so good.
So I want to go over real quick. Malik will throw the contest link up in the channel. So this week we have Remo is giving away 4 nutrient chart packs and cloning gel. Method 1 is donating a bottle of Method 1. Hortilux has donated a Hortilux blue bulb. Duke Diamond and Brothers Grimm have donated a Brothers Grimm t-shirt. We are donating Weed Nerd stickers and a Nat pin. So make sure you click over on the contest link. And it's enter. That's all there is to it. I will let you know because MzJill has been asked a couple of times about the Nat pin and the grinder. The only way to win to buy a Nat pin and a grinder is to watch the Weed Nerd Lounge show. I announce how you can buy one, and we put the money toward charities. So they're not for sale on the website, so please don't bug MzJill about it. So, all right, well, recap before we get in our members. I'll get with our panel. So Taco Tuesday was awesome. Mendo Dope recorded an incredible live show. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it was probably the most people I've seen at a Taco Tuesday. I got to actually throw seeds. If you hadn't seen the video on my Instagram, I'm still living the life of the the outlaw rock star by throwing cannabis seeds off of every stage that I get on now. Become quite good at throwing them. The charity garden is going well. Me and Badger and Sid got out there today. We composted. We put our straw down. We cut our cover crop down and laid it down to the first lasagna. So that is going really well. Jilly beans back in stock, thanks to MzJill. If you don't, if your shop does not have jelly bean, make sure you ask for it. Cosmic glue, also available. I want to make sure everybody goes over and checks out Mendo Dope and Minnesota's nice new video on the lasagna technique that we're actually doing out here in the yard. The boys are using a 1,000-gallon pot, so you can really see what's going on. I really love the fact that they drew with the amendments on top of the 1,000-gallon pot. I thought that was a really cool picture. So head over to Mendo Dope's Instagram page to check that out. Just a couple of little things. Seed separating machine. If you haven't seen the seed separating machine on my Instagram account, that's pretty damn amazing. Me and Badger have played with it enough to really get good with it. So it's called the Zigzag Seed Sorting Machine. If you haven't seen it, it is pretty amazing. Coming up soon, we got the NorCal High Times Cup coming up in June. Make sure you stop by there. While TGA does not officially have a booth there, we did purchase a 20x20 booth to work with 7-Leaf and Alpine Alternative. So basically, it's going to be me and Jill in a little corner over there, hanging out, talking to you guys, passing out some goodies. We'll probably have some jelly bean on site. So
it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be. We're just going to have fun.
It's a great
make sure
time
that
for
you
photo ops.
For what, baby?
Great time for photos because we won't be super busy. We're not selling. We're just hanging out with you guys.
Absolutely. And also make sure you don't forget Urban Farmers Veterans Event. If you hadn't checked it out, go over and check out his Instagram or his Facebook. He is raising money for veterans, and you know that we support that fully. So we've kicked a couple of things to him. And then last but not least, Method 7 will be on the show very soon. So let's get started right away. I want to go with David real quick because Method 1's kind of fresh in my mind, David. So can you tell us just a little bit about my product? Does the product hurt beneficial soil microbes? It's one of the first things the Weed Nerds wanted me to ask you.
Sure. Yeah, it actually was designed to be a foliar spray. And we've only recently started testing with the soil drench methods. So basically where I'm at right now is that if you reduce the mixture some, and I'm recommending 1/2 ounce per gallon of water to do a soil drench with, mostly all I can tell you at this point is that it won't hurt the plant. Okay. I need to do more research into what actually happens with the microbes and look at it under a microscope and such. So I'm reserving statement on that at the present time until I can verify everything. But it should work out okay. I'm guessing that probably would affect the soil microbes. Gotcha.
Yeah, well, that's why we were curious, and we'll learn about. So, can you tell us the main benefit of using your product and how you use the product outside of the drench, which you're looking into now?
Right. Well, as I said, using a foliar spray, it is a concentrate, so I recommend using it at a mixture of 2 ounces per gallon of water. And totally drenching the outside or the surface, every surface of the plant until it's dripping off. It is a contact killer, so it will take care of spider mites, russet mites, and broad mites. It also works well on thrips, and it's the feedback that I've gotten is that it works very well for powdery mildew as well. Something that I haven't had opportunity to test on, thank goodness. So yeah, just a heavy foliar spray. I recommend people do it once a week, but growers have their own methods, and I don't try to get too in their face about that. So it's growers are like cooks. They all have, you know, making the same kind of dish, but they all have a different recipe, and I respect that. So,
Amen.
You know, I
Can
called
I
it
ask-
method one. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to
Well, I
ask you
called
real
it-
quick, and by the way, go ahead. Go, Dave.
I called it method one because I figured that the first method that we should all consider is the proactive method. Get it done before you have a problem rather than waiting until you have a problem. And for instance, with spider mites, you know, if you have spider mites or you go into your grow one day and you discover that you have mites, you've kind of, you know, and according to method one, you've waited too long. So I recommend people, you know, treat the problem before it becomes a problem. And you know, it does the job if you have the problem already, but you know, it's a little harder, and you've given your pests a head start.
I got you. Can I? And what I was going to
Yeah.
ask you earlier, what motivated you to pursue the cannabis industry with your product?
I have a history, brother.
You're one of us. That's the right answer. I love it, man.
Way back in the day, around 1970, I was busted for marijuana. Spent some time in jail. Spent some time on probation. Didn't do too well with the probation. Ended up back in jail. All of this behind marijuana. Had to reestablish in a different location. I finally have legally put all of that behind me, but you know, it was something that haunted me over the years. So when legalization started happening, I thought, well, this is too ironic, you know, that it's come full circle in my life. And I felt like I wanted to do something in the industry. So, but I was growing. I had a little grow going, and had a major spider mite problem, and couldn't find anything that I was really satisfied with, you know, to keep the plant clean, you know, and to make sure that I didn't leave any residual bad items on it, you know, I mean, poisons basically. So I started working basically with home remedies and tried to start there, and I just kept digging and digging and digging, and a year and a half later, I came up with that. And I mean, I was digging every day to figure it out.
Well, that's I mean, what a great story to pull out of you, and that's really cool. Well, I will let you know, David, that several people on our panel, our crew, use the method one. I think you will see it used a good bit in our outdoor charity garden this year because we don't like any kind of harsh chemicals. So we appreciate you having on. I want to kick real quick. We lost him. He'll come back. Where'd he go? We lost Remo.
He's restarting his computer. He'll be right back.
Reboot, yeah.
Oops.
So I want to kick it over to Xtreme Gardening real quick. Josh, how's your connection right now, big guy?
Excellent, man. Ready to rock.
Cool. So we're going to specifically talk, before we talk about your products, we're going to specifically talk about what we did this year. So we put the Soil King 400 gallon of Soil Kings. We amended with lots of Xtreme products. We also added a little bit of lignite and crab meal, and then we covered with our cover crop. So this morning we went out there and we did 120 pounds of compost on each pot, and then we covered with straw. So what I really want to get into is when we transplant. So we're in 5-gallon pots. On the 11th, we're going to go out and we're going to transplant everything. I'm going to use a little trick that Mendo Dope showed me, which is to top the plant at the same time that I transplant it. So the roots will essentially double out as well. So should I be, even though we've amended the soil, even though we literally have fur growing out of the top of the soil thanks to the Xtreme amendments, do we need to treat the root ball again when we go in there? Can you kind of give us the guide to what you would recommend from your product?
You know what? Like it sounds like you have plenty of biology in the mix, but when you take the time to get that direct root contact at the point of transplant, you're speeding up the time frame that the microbes create that relationship with the plant. So I'm always going to recommend that you use it at transplant, every transplant, even with that rock and dirt that you guys got, you'll just see that added benefit, and it'll help with the transplant shock a lot, especially if you're topping it at the same time.
Cool. And I got a question I've been wanting to ask you, and I'm not putting you on the spot or anything. It's just Mendo dudes are having so much fun up there. And a lot of the stuff they're using, they're sponsored. So the amount of Mykos and Azos they use when they do a transplant is phenomenal. I mean, my God. So, you know, your normal farmer that's paying $150 a bag for this stuff, you see where I'm going. Are they overusing it, or is it beneficial to use in those large amounts?
You know, there's a certain point where it could become redundant, but really what you're doing is just creating a bigger, stronger colony. You're never going to use our product too much in a way that it's going to damage your plant. It's just an inert carrier and the biology. That's one of the things we really pride our product on, is that there's no fillers, no nutrients, no other kind of added effects that'll come from that transplant.
Cool.
I like
there a shelf life on this?
I like to sprinkle it just all over the top of the soil right before I put the plant on top.
Perfect. The main key with Mykos and Azos is just getting that direct contact with the root structure. You can do that, and it's going to increase that time frame that the microbes create the relationship with the plant. It's going to help with the stress. So it's one of those situations that however you want to skin that cat, as long as the material's touching your roots, that's the right way to do it.
Right on.
Good. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna cue something up real quick, just because I haven't seen this. This is brand. I think this is brand new. So this is Rob Moore. Rob Moore's a weed nerd. This is Remo's newest show.
Oh, this is awesome. I like this. My dog looks awesome.
Dude, he is.
Double man.
I believe it's Rush that's playing in the fucking background too.
Gonna be alright.
First minute to go.
Yes, space weed.
Oh, like he's got media asteroids in there.
Asteroids, love that game.
This guy's good, man. That's too fucking much. So Remo, how did you meet Rob Moore? Tell us a little bit about that story, buddy.
That was good.
Well, he just started making cartoons, and you know, I can't thank Rob Moore enough. He makes some pretty deadly cartoons. They're really funny right now. Love it. Actually, it's because of Rob Moore. I'm on your show because he put you in the cartoon a bunch of times, and that's because I've never met you. I've only seen your show on YouTube. That's it. This is like the first time I've ever actually been on a show with you. So thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming. Me and Bubble Man made the joke the other day. We'll have to meet at some indivisible line somewhere and shake hands across the border or some shit, because I guess we're all not allowed to join each other.
Meet in Jamaica.
There you go. Meet in Jamaica. Meet in Jamaica.
But you know what?
And baby, tell them about your place, Remo.
The funny thing about the cartoons, they seem to be bringing our stoner community a little bit closer together, because it's putting people together in a video that's never been together in videos before. So, Rob Moore, awesome on you. Thanks for doing that. I gotta hang out with you and smoke some dope, Rob.
Fucking hey. Awesome. Well, we sure enjoy all your comedy, and I didn't think of that till you just said that. Rob is bringing us all together in those cartoons, because, like you say, he kind of winds us in and out. Once he creates a character, continues to add those characters to the different cartoons. So we got hell, Badger's he drew Badger. Badger's already in a Rob Moore cartoon with his big beard and everything. So I like the way he celebrates our community. Awesome. Well, I want to kick it over to my good friend Duke Diamond. Duke in the house tonight. Tell us what's going on down south, big man.
Oh, same old, buddy. Just work.
I hear you. So, you guys, obviously, Brothers Grimm is back on the scene. I know the WeedNerds are really happy about that. A lot of people, the question is, where did you guys go? I actually asked Soul about this, and I never really got a true answer, and I'm not busting his balls now as to where he went. But we are sure glad to have you guys back above board. And, I mean, is it cool as shit to be kind of lead breeder for Brothers Grimm, or how's that going for you?
Oh, real good, man. It's it's been a whole lot of fun, and just totally delving into everything around the clock and seeing the stuff that's coming out of it. It's really good, real good. Getting to do
cool. What are some of your latest creations coming out of the lab?
Well, we released like the Durban Cindy 99. That one I was really super impressed with. And then we had two feminized releases that I was real happy with too. And we have a lot of other stuff, but it's not really released. It's the steps and another step and part of the bigger picture,
Gotcha. Cool. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you this question, because all the nerds want to know. So everybody knows that I don't film seed, and I'll go ahead and tell you that a big part of that reason now is simply the fact that I've made such a big deal about not doing it. But I understand you guys do have a film line, and I'm not polishing you when I say if you guys release a film strain and say it straight, you're one of the few fucking breeders on the planet that I would believe this out of. Just tell us a little bit about that program, and how is it being received by the community, by the people? Just tell us a little bit about that side of it. I was surprised.
Yeah, it's going pretty good. I mean, you always have people who are like, "Ew, film seed," and then there's just as many people out there that go, "Oh no, I don't want regular seed." So
right.
It's kind of really actually going really good, because it's kind of making everybody happy. And we're going about it very slow, methodically, a lot of testing. We want to make sure that it's as good as it can be. And something I've already noticed, just like with, breeding with males, it doesn't always turn out the way you think it will. And now we're losing a whole chromosome, Y chromosome, and gathering another X chromosome. It's involving a little more work than it normally would. I'd rather just do it with the males.
There, you said it. You heard him fucking say it. I love you, Tommy.
But it's taking a lot of extra work. I mean, I just feel like if it's something we want to put it out there, it's got to be 100% right, So, like, for instance, you would think, okay, Cinderella 99, right? You want to release a film. The guy reverses the C99 onto itself, wham, bam, done. We find that's not the way to go about it. That's why we went back to Princess with Cinderella 99. to help kind of recover what was in that initial mother. So we take a cubed, you know, Princess being Cindy 99, then taking it back to that original that, you know, would have had that Y chromosome kind of perhaps where it started, and kind of lock in some of those traits to get a, you know, really awesome Cindy 99 out of the film. And yeah, worked great. The Apollo 11, we're just calling it Apollo XX. It worked really great too. So it was real happy.
Have you put Airborne's A13 cut to work yet that I sent you?
Yeah. The Airborne, the Screaming Eagle is what it was. It wasn't, I didn't make it for like sale. I was just giving it away to veterans and stuff. I just thought it would be a good, like a PTS type relieving, anti-anxiety type, you know, thing that smelled good and tasted good. And we took a Afghani and hit an 88 G13 hash plant, figuring, you know, the 88's half G13 anyway, and then go to the Airborne with it, which was G13 and NL2. So a lot of things synced up really, really well, and it was killer, really killer. So
cool.
Yeah.
Tommy, I got to tell you. So I talk to these geneticists all the time, these marker guys, the Phylos Bioscience and the Candor. And, you know, it's so fucking funny. These people are so much smarter than me. I don't want to speak for you. But then when I go, well, do you guys know who Airborne is? And they're like, who? Oh, no shit. Because it's like, if you don't know where the G13 came from, then how the hell are you going to put markers on it in a genetic test anyway? It just makes me laugh my ass.
It's definitely
they have to come to the old screw growers to find out the real history of this shit. And it just cracks me the hell up. So.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you about the skunk. Do you guys have a new skunk out?
Yeah, so you know, that's another thing, you know, it's a long process, you know. So like if you're gonna sell a seed line and say, hey, this is skunk, and it don't smell like a skunk, man, then you're just another asshole selling some bunk, you know, like you're lying about it. So you know, it takes time, man, you know, to really lock that stuff down. I get hit up quite a bit, and like I like to make little skunk hybrids for growing for myself, and friends do too, and you know, they get a lot of demand. So I kind of figured I'd make a few of those, you know, to, you know, maybe hit the little spot for people, and you know, give me another year or so to get everything real, you know, nice and locked down and perfect, you know. So
now I apologize for having my head in the sand on this, Duke, but I was told that there are possibly limited release Brother Scrim strains maybe on Instagram, or did I hear right?
Yeah, like we'll make some stuff, you know, we call it like Too Hot for TV. So, you know, it's you know, stuff we'll keep in house or with friends, and you know, some charitable things that pop up where, you know, they're really sick people and, you know, in need of a lot of help. So I figure, you know, hell, I can kick out, you know, a few packs of some rare gems, and typically people will pay a lot of money to get them, and then that just goes to help who we're helping, you know. Whether it's autistic kids and their parents, you know, don't have any money, to, you know, people fighting cancer and losing their house over medical bills and stuff like that. So yeah, we do that time to time.
Awesome. I just wanted to hear it from you, buddy. I'd already heard that you guys were raising a little bit of money for people here and there. That's kind of what we do. I want to kick it real quick. We're going to head back to Remo, but I want to kick it to my lovely wife, MzJill. MzJill will be arriving here at the indoor garden sometimes on Monday. Everything is looking really good up there now. Are you excited to come move into the new digs?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really miss my garden. I'm feeling like a mom that lost her kids, you know. I don't have anything to take care of right now. I'm worried about them. I'm stressed out, but at least I know they're in your hands. So
I promise you they're being taken care of, not as good as you would, but they are good, and they're waiting on you. And they need your help. Let me tell you, there's so many fucking plants up there. I'm lost. And we do have the Corkle mail, so everything's fine.
Good. Oh, good. I was actually losing sleep over it, but I knew we hadn't thrown them out because I can memorize the plants we threw out. But
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we can't wait for you to get here. Just travel safe. So I want to go back to Mr. Remo. Everybody's so happy to have you in the house. Tell us a little bit about what's going on in Remo's world.
Oh, lots of things. We just came up with this thing called the Supercharge Kit, which is all our bottles of nutrients, all 7 of them in one box, all 1 liters, and we throw in a measuring syringe, a little shot glass, and there's a prize in every box, just like the 70s when you got your cereal. Other than that,
Really?
Rob Moore's been doing those killer cartoons. Did you see the Bong Show one? You're in that one. And I seen another one that he did with the clone of Leaf.
Yeah, that's really good there. I love the clone of Leaf shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And but other than that, I'm planning on going back to basics because I've been out here a lot, growing with the same grove for quite a while, and well, I figure it's time to build a new one. So I'm currently scouting a brand new location, and we're gonna bring everybody step by step on building this thing, permitting, building, outfitting it with the best equipment in the world, get some really killer genetics in there, and we're gonna grow them for you guys with my nutrients, of course.
Awesome. That's
pretty much
awesome.
it. Pardon?
No, I did one thing I didn't tell you is pretty much anybody that comes on the show, anything on my menu or anything in my testing purse that you would like to run, you say the word, they are yours, my friend. So
all right. She's great.
Yeah. There you go. We got you, buddy. We got you. So
all right. Sweet. Actually, I remember the first time I tried that strain was at the High Times Cannabis Cup in Seattle. Remember when they had the medicinal cannabis cup? And somebody said, hey, man, you really got to try this stuff. This stuff will just blow your mind. And yeah, TGA.
He said the word. He definitely said the word. She's great.
I think I have a video about it too up online. So check it out. It's probably about 1,000 videos back though. We make quite a few of these over here.
That's cool.
My media director's probably surfing it out as we speak. All right, I want to get real quick. I want to take just a couple of second break real quick. You know, I got to do this to you guys. So I want to tell you about the. We're going to just share a little bit with the 137 people watching. So this is Katrina Rose Salas is in our sights for our charity. She is a let's see how old she is. So basically, she contracted cancer. She underwent a bone marrow cord blood stem cell transplant, and with that, she inherited several viruses. So the transplant was not necessarily a great thing for her, even though it prolonged her life. So now she is facing a very serious surgery. She has no immune system. She's been sick for a very long time. She has not been able to attend school, and they had to relocate back to Seattle Children's cord blood stem cell transplant. She would be the first pediatric child to undergo this transplant in the entire world. Katrina has been a cannabis warrior for over 2 years. We would like you guys to donate to the Subcool People Helping People charity. But as you can see right here, if you would like to donate directly to Katrina Rose Salinas, we urge you to do that. And I'm doing this a little different for one thing. If someone has a GoFundMe page, it's a little different. We really appreciate all the donations to the people that we help, but YouTube gets 30%. And I'm not bitching because they allow us to do it and they make it easy. But if you guys want to make it a donation directly to their GoFundMe page, no one will get 30%. So I just have to bring that to the forefront. We just find these people and we go out and we help them. I want to kick it back real quick to Duke. Go ahead, buddy. Froze me. All right, back to Duke Diamond. So let's talk a little bit more about the JCC99 project, because I've got about 10 people testing it. What are our plans with this, my friend?
I wanted to speed the JC up, man, and make it more of a happy, not so easily pissed off girl, man. Man. So like that plant has awesome structure, huge yield. The terpene profiles on it are so strong, and that racy freak you the fuck out potency. Like it's good all the way around. So like there's not really much like that needs to be fixed, but I thought dun, dun, dun. But the when you did the Jack the Ripper way back and you sent me the first seeds that y'all made and you were like, yeah, you know, try these things out. And you know, that Lamango pheno, man, that thing was serious, you know. So the idea is trying to make a more consistent Lamango, you know, that was all pineapple, like mango fruit, cleaner, and it was so awesome. So that's what I was hoping. I was thinking in my head that pheno probably pops out from the like maybe the Cindy back on the Space Queen side of it, you know, popping up in that outcross. So that's what we're hoping for, and maybe a little faster too, you know, maybe a 60.
Yeah. Are you testing it? Are you guys testing it there?
Yeah, I got a buddy up the street who's doing it for me. He's got a little hydro bucket system, and then he's got some soil pots too. So he's hanging out doing those like whole room, and I get to go by there and peep in on him time to time.
Awesome. So what else? What's coming up in the future for Brothers Grimm as far as like, are you guys fixing to own the States? Are you guys going to Europe? What do you have in the plans as far as the business model for Brothers Grimm?
Well, just, you know, get up each day, do the right thing each day, put in the work, and just kind of enjoy what we're doing, and wherever the world takes us, I guess, you know, that'll just be how it ends up, I guess.
That's why I've always liked you, Duke. You're very, very non-assuming person. All right, I got to do some shout outs real quick again. Heroes of the Farm shout out. They gave us 10,000 Jazz Queen seeds for the one-off competition. For you guys in the channel that are watching and on the panel, we had the idea for the first time in history to do a cannabis judging competition, and everybody grows the same damn strain. So it's no longer a bigger dick contest or a favorability contest. It's going to get down to science, numbers, and terpenes. So we want to bring in a testing facility like either Phylos, Candor, or one of the others to do the terp test. The plan, which is unofficial at this time, because right now poor Patrick's burying his mom, but we hope that Patrick can get together with Mendo Dope and a couple other sponsors, and we're going to have the one-off competition just before the Emerald Cup. Doing it on this on purpose. I'm assuming that whoever wins the one-off competition will enter that into the Emerald Cup, and if they don't win that, then the results are going to look a little suspicious. So we're inviting all growers in America to get a hold of a pack of Jazz Queen and grow it out, and show up in Northern California, wherever we have this event. It's going to be in Cloverdale, California. Your indoor or your solventless hash, and have it judged by the best growers and the best breeders in the business and the one-off competition. Now, this is going to sound like a sales pitch, and it may be, but it's also not. The second I handed out the last pack of Jazz Queen, Arefa Dankland, everybody's wanted to know where they can get it so they can enter the damn competition. So we are now distributing Jazz Queen to Organican, Alpine Alternative, James Bean, Miss Rose I Am. It's not going to be distributed out through everywhere. We're just trying to make sure that people in the U.S. that want to grow this strain out and enter the one-off competition can get a hold of a pack. So we think it's an awesome idea without Heroes of the Farm donating 10,000 seeds for us. Shout out to Mr. Bond for the incredible hash and his friendship. Shout out to Soil King. Tuesday, man, it is so much fun, baby. Did you have fun last Tuesday?
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. The weather was great. The company was great. The music was great. It was on point. I think everybody should make a point of getting out there at least one time. It's awesome. And I hear the events are going to get bigger as well.
Get bigger. Patrick wanted me to let everyone know that the events will resume in June. Patrick has some family stuff he's dealing with right now, and it's very heavy. Patrick's one of the toughest son of a bitches I ever seen, just to be honest with you. So he will be just fine, and we will resume Taco Tuesday in June. Shout out to Hortilux. Shout out to Xtreme Gardening, Mykos and Azos, as well as Method 1. Huge shout out to Mendo Dope for always repping us, showing us what it is to have a good time. Baby Hudson, if you guys haven't seen my email, that's the baby that we helped out 2 weeks ago. She had parapoplexia, which is one ear is 2 inches lower than the other ear. And apparently they got her all fixed up. So the mom wanted me to thank the weed. Judas could be. The baby obviously doesn't know his ears were crooked. So that's good. And shout out to Remo Nutrients for the charge packs. All right, it is about that time. It's time for Malik to put up the link for so I don't know if we have any. Do we have any saved up, Malik?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Well, it is time. So panel, just so you know, everybody smoke a bowl, pay attention, and we'll kind of direct it to the soil people, the nutrient people, the breeders, etc.
From Bobby317, he says, does Method 1 work for gnats? It's directed towards.
There you go, David.
Method 1 GPS. David?
Yes, it actually does work for gnats and also for aphids. But if you're talking, are you talking about fungus gnats?
Yes, sir.
Fungus gnats live in wet soil. So, you know, don't think about just killing them. Think about changing the environment a little bit so that they don't want to be there.
You got to take away their food source.
Dry it out.
Exactly.
And I got to tell you real quick on the gnat thing, because we talk about gnats about 80% of the time of the show that we're not live on this thing. What we've learned about the moisture is true. So I've been buying some gardening products this year because I'm expanding the outdoor. And because of all the rain this year, everything's wet. I mean, everything is wet. Every bag of soil, every compost, all the bar, everything is soaked in all the nurseries because of all the rain we had. They just couldn't hide it anymore. And yeah, pretty much anything you open from a garden center right now, it's got bugs in it. So as we talked about, we got to let it dry out, let this shit dry out so the bugs will die. And it's just something you have to deal with. So I just wanted to mention the moisture is really the issue right now. So what else you got, Malik?
Michael Jung says, how many species of mycorrhizae are in their products?
We focus on single species. You know, we see that these organisms, they have some forms of competition, whether it's for square footage on the root system or for the food source. So what we did is we identified Mother Nature's hardest, strongest workers and figured out how to singularly propagate that species. That's actually something that holds our products aside from any of our competition, is that no one else can get it down to a singular species. So that's part of the proprietary process. But we're just doing it single species so that we're not charging people for a lot of bacteria and fungi that may or may not be effective.
Gotcha. Well, that's a really good answer. Cool. It's really nice to have people here that can answer. That's the best thing about these panels. I couldn't answer that daggum questions. I like that. Hey, I just had a thought though. There's 448 people watching right now. We're going to put the questions on hold for 1 second. A lot of the panelists are going to think we're crazy here. Malik, are you guys ready to do the number thing?
Oh, ready? Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm ready.
All right.
Drop it in our private chat.
Yeah, you ready to get in the private chat already? All right, so we are going to give away a signed and a small TGA grinder. So we're going to do a number between 1 and 500. Do not start yet.
No.
Okay.
Don't start
when
yet.
I say go, guess the number between 1 and 500. Go. Copy of Dank and a TGA grinder. Yeah. Urban Remo guessed. By the way, Urban Remo, we used to use that number all the time, but the first person that guessed always fucking got it, so it ruined the competition. So I had to stop using 420 and 720.
I'll forego the prize.
Oh,
the mods have a lot.
I hope everybody on our panel tonight's watching this chat go crazy right now. It is scrolling so fast and not keep up with anything. It is like a blur.
Numbers. We need to watch numbers. It's flying. It's close, but no cigar. I haven't seen it yet.
I do not know how they do this. We just fucked the chat up for a little while.
Someone said fucking crazy. I saw that go by.
There's so much fun when they do it. There you go. We got it.
Do we?
He rung the bell. Mr. Sound Effects rung the bell.
No, I was just reading these people on here.
Yeah.
Don't slow down, chat. We don't have it. You better keep on going.
All right, I want to while they're playing around trying to find this number, Remo, what are you smoking, and what is your favorite strain currently?
Ooh, close.
Pardon? Is that for me?
Yeah. I want to know what you're smoking currently. No, what are you smoking? But what is your favorite current strain? The reason I ask it that way is because, like, 10 years ago, if you'd asked me what my favorite strain was, I would have said Genius by Brothers Grimm. But if I smoked Genius today, it'd be like doing a line of cocaine.
Right.
People change all the time. So what is your current favorite strain?
Well, you know what? You're absolutely right. My current favorite is from Ripper Seeds. It's Zombie Kush. And I've got this pheno. It's grows unbelievable. Good producer. We tested it. It was 27.5%. So it's totally Ripper. I'm not disappointed. It's rare that you find one that is really strong like that and produces like crazy. So it's a good strain. Currently, I'm smoking the Gorilla Glue number 4. We just harvested this, and this was like early in the week, and it's still a little bit rubbery, but I still want to taste it. It burns really clean. Actually, I'm going to join here ready to go. We're doing the burn test. I know you guys do this too. You know, when it's drying, you take buds off and try it out and do a little taste testing. I know all the terpenes aren't there, but you get a good idea of how it's going to burn and what the flavor it's going to be. What's your favorite right now?
My favorite strain is called Cuvée. It's something I created with Pinot. By the way, Chillin' Like a Villain is who won, if I'm not mistaken. Chillin' Like a Villain won.
So we got one. Okay.
So my favorite, Chillin' Like a Villain.
Yep.
Go look at Chillin' Like a Villain.
I confirm.
Supermod there picked it up. So shout out. So yeah, Cuvée. Remo, a good friend of mine, Leo with Aficionado Seeds, has a clone called Pinot. It's a 1998 Blackberry Time Pakistani. It has a very unusual flavor and terpene profile. And last year, 2 years ago, we crossed it with our Space Queen and made a strain called Cuvée. Now, the word Cuvée to me is very sexy. It means to combine two things together to make one better. And that's exactly what we did with this strain. We took a Pinot Noir clone and we crossed it to our Space Queen, and we made this new strain Cuvée. There's two things I really like a lot about it. Outdoors in California, it's finished second week in September. So we're able to get our flowers off the stems, dry the product, and get to the dispensaries before anyone else. So we get $2,000 a pound for our outdoor. It's quite funny here in California. The way it works is you drop your flowers off and you show back up in 2 weeks. There were thousands of people in line in October, first week in October and second week October, with all of that outdoor. So one of the reasons we really like the strain is we're able to get it off the stem and into the stores. The other reason is about half the phenos exhibit a very strange chocolate terpene. These chocolate plants, Frenchy Cannolis made these cannolis from us. Some of the most amazing strains you've ever smoked in your life. So I'm really digging the Cuvée now. What are you smoking tonight there, Duke Diamond?
I was going to 187 and then I switched it over to some Xtreme and Eagle.
I knew you'd switch it over. I knew you would. It's too funny. All right, Malik. I stalled this long enough to get this winner. Chillin' Like a Villain. Congratulations.
Yep.
I will sign me and Jill will sign the book, get it to you. Small TGA grinder. Pat Compton Soul King. Let's get back into no stupid question because I know everybody waits for that each week. Malik, hit us up, buddy.
All right, for Duke Diamond, what are some rare cuts that you have?
Open.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I don't know what people consider rare either. You know, there's no telling. I don't know.
What's your favorite cut?
Yeah, what's special
What's
to
your
you?
favorite?
Kill dog. Yeah, always. Yeah.
Kim Dog, is that what you said?
Kill the champ. Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I know you guys have some pretty serious crosses. We have one. We only have one. I really, I'm not into fuel that much. And, I held all of Greg's crosses at one time. And me and him talked about it in detail. I was just never really a super fuel guy. But we took the Kim D and crossed it out. And we made a strain called Alchemy. And we really like it a lot. It's, to describe it to you as a breeder, I would say it's like a sweet, grapey Kim Dog. So that's the easiest way I can explain it. But put a little lavender on it, a little floral on it, and a little color on it. Not as greasy as the original.
Yeah.
All right, Malik, hit us up. This question's done.
All right, Duke Diamond, where can they get Grim Dog, or is it still available?
No, that was just a one-time cool thing to do for people, and didn't put a whole hell of a lot out, and it was all sold out really, really quick. There were like a few packs overseas, but people would ask me and they'd say, well, you could check out there, see if there's some floating around. And the last I saw, somebody auctioned the pack, but yeah, they're all sold out.
And on the same token, what about Grimdica?
Oh, the Grim Dog. I thought you said the Grimdica.
Oh yeah, he said Grim Dog. I said Grimdica, but yeah, what about the other one?
Oh yeah, the Grimdica. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. The Grim Dog. We're doing something special with the first 91 packs. Grim Dog, he's going to sign each pack. We're going to label them 1 through 91. Mr. Soul's going to sign it. I'm going to sign it, and we're going to put those out as the first 91 packs because we didn't have a whole bunch to begin with. We're going to keep it as like a menu strain and everything, but we grew so many out in testing, doing all that stuff, so we figured we'll do the first 91, and I don't know, like 4 months, we'll have some more, like non-signed packs, just regular.
That's very cool, and I would urge you guys, if you guys know that followed me for a long time, I have spoke well of Brothers Grimm my entire life. You've never heard me say a cross word about those guys. They've made some of my most favorite crosses in the world, some of the fruitiest crosses you've ever seen. So definitely check those guys out. Malik, let's get going here on this thing.
All right, the American one also asked Duke Diamond a question. How many males do you guys keep?
Well, currently we are at 5 right now. We'll go through certain ones, but it's part of a much bigger picture and a step. And once they've completed their step, there's no more intention to make more of those seeds or need any more. We got all we need to, go to our next step and, just keep making it better and locking it down harder and harder. And then, at that final stage where we feel it's right, then we'll start, keeping it and hanging on to it.
I knew the answer would be low because it's finding a good male takes a lot of time and a lot of work. Duke, I'll tell you something we did recently. I went back into my line to find a different Quirkle male to work on the Mendo Dope project because I did not want an Urkel dominant one. I wanted a Space Queen dominant one. I wanted the resin increase. So we don't have a lot of males either here now. So kind of pretty common in breeding. Malik?
All right, Marcel Vincent asks, any tips on keeping a pheno of a plant that's already in flower?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tricky one right there, but it definitely can be done. You want to re-veg it, obviously. You want to give it a little bit of nitrogen before you re-veg it. But the main thing I want to tell you about re-vegging is you have to have patience. It will grow out, and most likely any strain that you re-veg is going to get that single leaf. It might grow 3 leaf for a long time, and you as the grower have to be patient enough to veg that plant. Sometimes it's going to take 20 hours of light until that plant completely reverts, until all of the budding flowering hormones are gone and the plant reverts to its natural self, whether it be 11 or 13 leaves, however many. You want to have the healthiest plant possible to take new tissue from. If you take a clone from a plant that is not fully reverted into veg, you will end up with a problem the rest of your life. And I know Duke has worked with some of those clones that have gotten out from people's gardens that have tried to bring stuff back together, and it will drive you nuts. So key, make sure the plant is completely regenerated before you take a cutting on it. And I would say one more thing that we do is a trick. We will take that cutting and we will grow that cutting out into a nice, healthy, beautiful bush. Make sure that everything is normal, the normal growth patterns, and then we take a clone from it. We pretty much know it's back to square one at that point. Malik?
Wow, nice. Wow. Doug High asked for Remo. How long do you veg those big garbage can pots?
Eight to 10 weeks of veg to make those big trees I grow.
Okay, wow, nice.
Man, what's your yield off one of those trees, Remo?
That really depends on strain. The best we've done is 3 pounds, and the worst we've done is 3/4 of a pound. So it really depends on strain. Strain is everything, as you know, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I'll tell you though, I need to get you a copy, Remo, of this Mendo dopes. How to grow Mendo dope. There's some kids that I met. Me and Jill met these kids about 6 years ago, and I call them kids then. They're men now, but yeah, I like that Josh was them. And they were just full of energy, singing about marijuana, rapping and singing and having a good time and growing weed. That's the Raid. It's on YouTube. But now they basically, not only do they grow trees, but they teach others how to grow trees. So they get anywhere between 8 to 12 pounds on one of my strains. And I always thought it's fucking phenomenal. I mean,
is that outdoors or indoors?
Outdoors. And but their method, and I want you to watch this DVD because I mean, I learned so much from these guys in just a short period of time. They work their ass off on these plants. So they grow them big, and then one of the first things they do is they trellis the plants. They keep training them until the plants are just a giant ball. Hang on, I'm gonna pull one up real quick. The fans have seen them, but I want you to see them real quick. So, but they just keep training the plant. And one of the things that they taught me was they pull every single thing out of. So the plant's basically a big afro. There's no buds down in the center. It's just a big skeleton to hold all these buds. And so these round buds, they get so freaking big. But I guess my point is I'm wondering is how much work. They spend 4 hours a day training these plants. Did I go dead here? Am I dead? Malik?
No, I can hear you.
Nope,
you're great.
There,
Malik, you're in twice though.
No, plants that big are a lot of work. The one thing about outdoors is that if you compared 1 square meter, if you had to bring that inside in the middle of summer, unobstructed light, 1 square meter to recreate that indoors, it would take 13 1,000-watt lights to recreate that same amount of light intensity as sunlight. It's incredible. That's why the sun is awesome, and it's free.
Yeah, we're tripping out this year on the we did our outdoor starts on our deck, and now they're in 5 gallons and they're getting ready to go out pretty soon, and they are massive. I just can't get over how healthy they are.
I'd sure like to get a license.
Sorry, I don't want to
outside. I'm restricted to growing inside for now, but it's tempting.
Right. This is a 12-pound plant. So I don't know if you can see the picture of this thing. If you crawl under this plant and look up into it, there are not any buds underneath the plant. The buds are all visible. And so this plant right here yielded 10 pounds.
It looks pretty awesome. I see that they cleaned up the bottom really nicely, and the air can get in there. It's a nice job.
Yeah, they need
I will make
chainsaws on these ones.
Yeah, no doubt. I want to make sure Remo gets a DVD so you can watch how these kids have basically revolutionized how we do things in Northern California. And on 6 to 7 plants, we're now getting 70 to 80 pounds of dried finished cannabis. So
that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's intense.
All right, Malik, I know we've got some questions left. I want to get to them real quick before we start goofing off, because you know how that works in the end. So let's keep going on these before we get silly.
All right, for method 1, what is the shelf life of method 1 PPS?
Good question.
For an unopened bottle, it's pretty much years. I don't sell it in large enough quantities that I worry too much about it. Once it's mixed, it should be used fairly quickly. I've let it go up to 3 months, and it still worked just fine. But the main thing is how you store it, how you keep it, because you need to keep it out of sunlight, because anything that has essential oils in it are susceptible to sunlight. So keep it in a cool, dark place, and you should be able to keep it for a long time. One thing to remind of is the first sentence in the mixing instructions, to shake it well before you mix it. So just shake it up, and you should be able to keep it for quite a long time. I would give it a year, you know. Try to use it within the year.
I've heard of people having pretty good luck with it for the shelf life and keeping it even after it's open.
Right.
So what about fridge? Do you suggest putting it in the fridge ever, or no?
Wouldn't hurt. If you have one available, I usually don't. Like I said, is keep it out of sunlight and keep it relatively cool. And I say relatively cool, or less. Other than that, it's in a dark bottle, so that gives you some filtration of light to protect it some, but it is susceptible to intense light. And I've seen where people in a large grow have left a 5-gallon bucket of it out in the sun, left it out all winter, freezing and everything. And when I picked up the can from it, it still had about 3 inches worth in the bottom. It was all separated and looked pretty ugly, and didn't smell right. So it has its limits, but common sense.
Just like any. I like the common sense approach. Malik, next question, buddy.
All right. I guess I would direct the same question to Xtreme Gardening. What's the shelf life on your product?
You know what? That's again a good question. So by law in our registration, we have to put a 3-year expiration date on this product. But that being said, these microbes are in dormancy, and they live in Mother Nature waiting for a host plant. So they can go years and years and years and still be viable. We have test batches in our manufacturing facility that are going on 9 and 10 years old, and we inoculate new plants with them to see their inoculation percentage. We're still getting above 40 and 60% root zone inoculation with that older product. So the key part to this question is your storage practices. And really, you just want to keep it cool, dark, and dry. That's your main thing right there. As long as you have good storage practices, regardless of the expiration date, these microbes are good indefinitely.
And that's kind of what I thought. They get moist. That's the problem. Can you, I was going to ask you this earlier, Josh, because this is a perfect time to enter. Can you, in the layman's term, tell the chat the difference between Mykos and Azos and their application?
So there's a couple different ways to address this, but the most basic way to really put this is Azos. We'll call Azos step 1. Azos is a nitrogen-fixing bacteria that converts atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for your plant. And we're finding that through that process, it's increasing primary hormone or rooting hormones, being indole-3 acetic acid, which is a hormone that's already within the plant. So Azos is great for root production, your propagation. You make cloning gels replacement, put it in your cloning cubes, your cloning machine. Now, Mykos is step 2. Mykos is going to attach to that root material that the Azos has grown and make those roots perform better. It's going to create more surface area, more intake points. It's going to search out the smaller pockets of the soil that the roots just bypass. So it's really a 1-2 combination. And just putting it really basically, Azos grows your roots, Mykos helps them perform better.
Well, there you go. So we always wanted a very simple explanation for that. I really appreciate that, Josh. Malik, what you got next for our great panel?
Well, the last one I have right now is how do you breed autoflowers, Sub?
I don't. That was an easy one.
I was gonna just laugh at that.
I don't even. All right. We'll throw that one over to Duke Diamond. He works with that kind of stuff. Tommy, you want to help him out, buddy?
I'm not an expert, but I just kind of figured that it all started with some type of ruderalis, something that started, you know, in northern climates that was already kind of used to doing that. They integrated it and looked for auto-flowering males. The quicker, the better. They probably inbred that for the best females they could get, and then they probably started to inject that into, you know, clones and start the process again of finding ones that, you know, flower under 18 hours of light and males that do the same, and they stabilized it, and there you go. That's my idea.
When I was in Winnipeg,
you know.
well, yeah, he's right. When I was in Winnipeg, I got a hold of that Mantuska Thunderfuck, and we were growing it, and basically the cut we had when it gets to about 4 weeks in veg, it just blooms.
Oh yeah,
it worked. So me being old dumbass redneck stuck in my waist, I didn't even see any benefit to that. It just pissed me off. I was like, look, you're not doing what I want you to do. You're doing what you want to do. So we actually axed the damn cut. And yeah, I probably could have started an auto flower strain a long time ago.
You remember
I knew
on Overgrow, that guy?
Yeah.
You know, whole
yeah.
way back in the day. He was like, yeah, try them out. And we grew them behind all the hedges around this whole apartment complex, man. And it worked really good, man. They got, you know, like yay tall, you know, something like that. Nice little cola on a stick. Just, you know, went around, snatched them up. Nobody knew the better. Except there were a couple that didn't auto flower, and the fuckers started to get big. And we had to, like, get those out. But it worked.
Now, me and Jill work with a plant on a daily basis. Jill works with it better than me, being completely honest. And it's a clone we got called Black Cherry Soda. And I think most people that got a hold of this cut would think it was an auto-flowering plant, but it's not. If I would describe it, I would say it needs more light. It's just 1,000 watts inside metal halide is just not enough. Now, Jill, leafing. Looks like Remo's got a big burner going right there. That man can smoke some serious joints, by the way. I have noticed watching his show that goes
she gets
lots.
leaves as big as my hand. Bigger. She gets big 7 bleed leaves bigger than my hand.
But she doesn't. Now, again, Jill keeps her in that way, but she really doesn't like to. Like a clone that came down, it's got resin all over the stem and everything. But I will tell you, when you put this plant outside in the sunshine, as Remo was talking about earlier, with the massive amounts of light that it would require to duplicate the sun, the plant starts growing differently outside. So it's one of those plants that just needs more light. Now, Duke gave me this really cool tonic. And we got all the stuff from Build a Soil to put on. It's got aloe root powder and coconut water. It's got all this stuff as a tonic to try to bring these plants back. Now, I can tell you that Black Cherry Soda liked it. I can tell you the old Jack's Cleaner that we had did respond very well to it. But I know these plants just want some damn sunshine. I believe it with all my heart. They're tired of artificial light. So, different spectrum.
Too, man. I've noticed certain gals are so vigorous in their root zone, they really want to just take over. And like the moment they sense like they're getting root bound, they want to start flowering, you know. So
yep,
I've had a couple like that. So most of our moms, you know, we're keeping them in like 20 gallon pots now. So you know, you got to grow a pretty damn big tree to
Starts flowering. She's always flowering. Like in the cloning chamber, she's flowering. She never stops flowering. And when she's under the T5, she'll do the 1 blade and 3 blade leaves. But once I get her under the big lights and put her in a big pot, she's fine.
Heck yeah.
It's big for me.
I have a plant that hates light. The absolute complete opposite. Worse than that A13 that we're rocking there, buddy. Like it's this Afghani. You literally have to sit it completely away from the lights, or else it'll just look like it wants to die.
Came from a cave.
You know, a plant that we both share now, thanks to you, that Romulan, that plant at about 4 weeks in bud, it looks like it needs water. So it easily overwatered. And what happens is, in my opinion, the damn thing stops drinking water.
Yeah.
I've overwatered that thing a couple. Does yours droop in bud no matter what?
No, but I'm real peculiar when I'm watering, man. Like I take like 3 times longer than the average dude. You know, I'm picking it up, and I already know which ones are going to be a problem. So I go right to those.
Okay.
When I go to water, and I'm like, I really analyze the shit out of those. You know.
Exactly. Me too.
Yeah. So I try to, like, with her, just give her just enough to make the pot a little more than damp, and just water her less more frequently.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it'll do real good for you like that, man.
You know, plants are all different, just like people are all different. You just got to let them be who they're going to be.
Yeah, exactly, man. Ain't no changing them. Like
Learn
that.
to work with them.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna switch it up real quick and kick it over to Minnesota Nice. So Minnesota Nice, today we pulled the irrigation up, the twist line. We got it off of the soil. We used a weed whacker to chop our cover crop, which was really thick, but also extremely succulent. Whatever that build a soil mix is, the plants they tear really easy. They're really full of water, real soft.
That was
tear.
buckwheat and beans.
Buckwheat and beans. So we chopped it up with a weed whacker. We covered it with compost. We even put that soil, maybe that soil the guy gave us a couple of years ago at the name of the place. He gave us a pallet of soil for us to try. So we actually used supercharged soil. We actually used a bag of that in each one of the pots. And then we covered with a good bit of straw. Not too much, but a good bit. Simple question. So when we transplant next, we're going to spread that straw aside basically and make us a good opening to put those plants in. One of the things Mendo Dope told me, though, that I was shocked at, and I wanted to confirm with you, is they said they planted their plants up to the first knuckle of stem. And I'd always been told or read not to plant your root ball either deeper or more shallow than originally. But can you kind of tell us a little bit? I understand it's more for support, but I've never heard this before. So you're burying the first 6 or 7 inches of the stem, correct?
Typically, I don't know if you've ever seen it before above the soil surface, but you get air roots on the earlier part of the stalk, usually between the first set of leaves that come out on a new set of seedling and the soil surface. And you can actually maximize by getting that down into the soil. Some techniques that people use, they would mound the soil surface even to kind of get those air roots into the soil. And
I have a jelly bean seedling that is about 35 days in flower, and she's got some pretty big ones sticking up out of the dirt.
So basically, Minnesota Nice, if we have those air roots showing, we may have benefited by putting that plant down just a little bit more. Am I correct?
Absolutely. There's no reason that you wouldn't benefit from that.
Okay, cool. Now, what about if they expose top dress in that same situation, once they're exposed, would you go ahead and top dress them to cover them back up?
Throughout the growing season, you're going to top dress continuously using the no-till system and the organic inputs. You're going to repeat the lasagna process again, halfway through the growing season to supercharge your micro life for the later stages of growth. So
maybe I didn't buy too much straw. So now I'm seeing. So now we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let it water. We have the straw down. We're gonna transplant the plant. But it sounds like there's going to time before long where we pull that straw back off and re-amend. Is that correct?
I personally wouldn't even pull the straw back off. Just use a very thin layer. You can actually cover it up with more compost, layer it with another layer of straw, and another cover crop on top of that. And it's more of just a layering technique where you just constantly repeat it.
Now I got it.
Each time you do it, you add a few amendments with it, and that just helps, supercharge that portion for you.
Is there a particular order in the amendments, or is it just kind of what's going on for that moment?
It's more of a balanced input system, I guess, where, we use as few of inputs as possible to achieve that balance. So to do this, we've done some research, some studies, and we found out that using like neem meal, kelp meal, and crab meal seem to be the most basic source of ingredients to get to that end result. And we can also continuously add amendments like rock dust that are going to put trace minerals into the soil, as well as microlife that's trapped inside of it too. And, you know, working alongside like a product like Azos and Mykos, it just makes the perfect environment for the roots and the microlife that's happening there.
So now when these, when my $200 worth of worms come, hopefully in the next couple of days or so, I mean, just dig a damn big hole and insert them into the soil and cover them up? Or is there, I mean, do I need to know anything about putting worms in my dirt?
When you first put them on, you're going to want to make sure they don't escape. They're going to go a little bit crazy. They're going to be going across your cover crops, surfing around. Some of them try to get out. Just kind of make sure that you can put them right on the soil surface so they can dive down right away.
Okay, cool. Well, we can do that. And I'm ready. We'll spread the straw a little bit and insert worm. So I'm ready for my Alabama jumpers. So, and we're going to get rain. They said we're going to get rain. One more, believe it or not. No shit, it's supposed to rain in Northern California next weekend.
I'm kind of excited to see the worms.
I know it's going to be, my pots are live. So yeah. And I will tell you, but we already have lizards living in our pots. So I'm counting it already. We have live shit in our pot. So this is a good thing. I'm sure they're eating the fucking gnats. So what's up next for you, big guy? Duke Diamond.
Oh, hey, what's up, buddy? That's ain't
Not
out.
much.
Shit.
I was just checking in with you. So what you got going? We've reviewed your company and everything. What you got going yourself, man? Anything going personally for Duke Diamond?
Just getting all settled into Colorado and, just working every day and doing what I like.
Do you like it there?
Yeah.
You like it there?
Yeah, man. I'm adapting to the cold better, like after this winter. So yeah, I do like it. It's always sunny, even if it's cold or snow. It's always sunny, so I kind of like that. And like the spring.
They tried to trick me, but they tried to trick me with that shit, that sunshine. They almost got me and Jill to move down there with that sunshine shit till we went down there and saw how fucking cold it was. We don't have Subaru. We like to froze to death. So. No, it's a fun city. It really is a fun city. So.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it though, and so I get to do what I like to do. So happy about that. And that's about it, man.
Awesome. Remo, I'm going to ask you the same thing. What's coming up for you this summer? You got anything big plans? I want you to tell us a little bit more about your thing in Jamaica. Mention to me a little bit, a place for stoners to hang out, go have a good time. Tell us more about that, please, sir.
Okay, well, we'll start with Jamaica. I just came back from there and, went to this place. It's called Coral Cove Resort. What's amazing, I've been to Jamaica, I don't know, about a dozen times. And I've documented a lot of things in Jamaica, but this is the most chill place I've ever gone, Jamaica. If anybody's been to Jamaica before, you've probably had this experience. Usually, if you're like in the grill and you're walking down the street, every 5 minutes you get approached, somebody trying to sell you some weed or other drugs or something. In this area, because it's in the middle of nowhere, nobody ever comes up to you. Nobody ever tries to sell you any weed or anything, so it's there's nobody there. And it's super clean. The food was great. It's beautiful. See some of the videos. It's just spectacular. And I don't know, if you're a stoner and really like to chill out and smoke weed, it's a place to go. They also have an on-site garden, which is cool as fuck. You're not going to see that at Sandals or Ryu, right? So, they're pretty cool there. Things I got coming up, we're going to be at the Lift Expo in Toronto at the end of this month. And then we're also going to go to the Glass Gathering, Great Canadian Glass Gathering up in Birkin. August, we're doing the Bio Cup on Vancouver Island. And I believe we got a trip to the UK somewhere in there to nail that one down. So lots of stuff happening.
Awesome. Well, make sure you follow Remo on YouTube. And also over on Rob Moore. Seems like Rob Moore kicks out a cannabis cartoon for you. Gave a couple of weeks or something like that. So.
Awesome.
I know I really enjoy it. I didn't see it once this time, so you guys hit that thumbs up button, but more importantly, go share this show with someone. 522 people in the channel right now. To my lovely wife. So, baby, are you you're there. What happened?
Yep. I'm here.
Oh, yay. So I know you're a little apprehensive, but so you excited?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really
Yeah?
excited.
Cool.
I'm excited.
It's to be pretty decent weather.
I'm excited to get down there. I'm excited to get the garden back in shape again. I'm excited to help with the outdoor.
We've got I just noticed today, we've got it's not a big thing, and I'll show you what I mean, but we've got, because we added so many pots this year, we've got a couple we're sharing. So we're going to have to put some valves in because we have the same size flow going to a 400 as a 150. So the 150s will get too much, but man, they look cool. I'll throw up a picture in just a little while of everything we did today. And I got to throw it out to Sid. You don't get a lot of gratitude for this thing. There was a giant pile of wood chips that they made when they came and chopped 2 trees down. And to be honest with you, if you looked at it from afar, it didn't look as big as you would think. How many? 40 loads or something like that so far? 50 loads or something like that. So we almost have those 2 oak trees moved down to the garden. And what a nice texture of root it's made to walk on. Instead of being all rocky and hard, it's just like this compact, clean wood chips. That's really nice. And I don't know if the will get rid of bugs, but it does have kind of a nice smell to it as well. So, so on the 11th, we're going in the ground. On the 10th, me and Jill go to SCSFO to talk to the transplant doctors to find out what they want me to do. I'll be honest with you, my fear right now is the stupidest fear in the world. And that's the fear that they're going to basically make me stop consuming cannabis of all kinds that day. And that, I know that should be the least of my worries, but it is coming up. So we'll deal with that. Minnesota Nice, I want to ask you, I never asked you this. So how is your outdoor garden growing? You're running this year, correct?
No, we don't run outdoor up here. We do not have an outdoor season. So we're just working along with Mendo Dope this year, and we're just helping them take care of their soil, and going to make sure that they're gonna do really well with using recycled soil.
Are you working with them on the project up on top of the mountain?
No, actually, I'm not.
Well, they showed me pictures today. They showed me a panoramic picture, and the boys will be showing it pretty soon, but they have a spot up about 1,200 feet, full sun. And I'm going to say full sun. There's not a fucking shade tree within a mile of this place. And they're doing 400, 600-gallon pots. They're also doing a 12 Gavita run. So the boys are getting busy. Soil this week, and they got all those full. So it should be really interesting to see that farm develop, especially because they're getting started a little late on it. So I know they have all the plants. It's all TGA, so you're going to see a 600 plant TGA garden. I know they got some seeds from a couple other people telling me they didn't fare as well as the TGA. So some of the 10 packs only produced a couple of females, some of them some mutants and stuff. So yeah, giant cannabis garden in the sky with all TGA genetics. So I'm sure they're going to be using the same techniques that you're teaching, helping them learn over on their garden now.
Yeah, that's the plan right now. We're just kind of testing the waters, getting our toes wet, making sure that things are going to go right for the transition. So
cool. I wanted to kick it back real quick to media director Malik. When is the contest end? Tell me about the contest since you can handle all that. What's going on?
All right. Contest ends in 5 days. We have 10 winners. First prize is going to be the Hortilux Blue up to 1,000 watt from Tyler from Hortilux. The next 4 top spots are going to be the Supercharged Kit from Remo. 1 more spot under that will be your rooting gel from Remo. Then we have Method 1 PPS is putting the next prize, a 16-ounce bottle like this, I believe. And then we have Duke Diamond. He's going to put in a T-shirt as well. And we have Nat pins and stickers coming too, guys.
Very cool. And MzJill has MzJill will have her new stickers as well going in with the new TGA prize packages. So when we do the little contest and shout outs on the music show and stuff, you'll be getting a new MzJill sticker. I know I can't wait to get one on my lunchbox. So that's definitely missing right there. DungBeetle, are you with us, Mr. Ice Cream Boy? DungBeetle. We lost him. See, he's always getting the damn rocky road. You watch. He always does. All right, Malik. You and Minnesota Nice are working on next week. Not to skip too far, we're going to get right back in the chat real quick. So next week, I guess we're dealing with a Method 7's going to come on the show. Is that correct, you guys?
Yes, I believe so, and we might have Green Grow on as well.
And there's also the possibility of timber grow lights as well. They are in the works also.
Cool. Now they are. Are they DE manufacturers or what?
Actually, you know, DungBeetle's the one that's been talking with timber grow lights there. So
timber grow lights.
Let's look them up. Malik, maybe you can do some screen share or Subcool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Timber Grow Lights does LED fixtures, and they have linear, and they do DIY, so you can get your frameworks already built, and they have all kinds of diodes from Cree to Citizen to, Veros, and really good options.
They want to build something custom. They want to build my Jesus cross. I've mentioned my Jesus cross, and I stay so busy that, I mean, if somebody waits on me to actuate it, it won't happen. But I think they must have been watching the show when I said it. And what we're talking about is an actual LED light that would fit in between my 4 XXL Magnum hoods. And I could really see. So with that LED right down the center, I could actually see the benefit. And as long, I was on Tech Talk today. And one of the things that we were talking about on Tech Talk is get really close to the sunshine. A lot of us now are starting to mix lights. We're starting to mix some DE. We're starting to mix some LED. We're starting to mix some ceramic metal halide. But I really like the way these guys can come in and custom design you something that fits exactly in your system, like a rail, a square, or a box. So we're definitely going to let them set us up. The one thing that's always prevented me from going very far in LED is the cost of it. So we want to see real-time results. So I have those guys on next weekend. That should be interesting.
And
as the show grows, we want to continue. Dung, how you doing? Welcome back, Ice Cream Boy. No, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what you guys are working. Tell us what you're working on, buddy.
They've got. I was listening to you that whole time. Sorry, I caught it. But they have a custom, obviously, as you guys know, DIY lighting system that they use, and they are wanting to come in. They do watch the show a lot, Sub. They've seen a lot of your stuff, and he actually told me specifically, the owner, Dan himself, said that he wants to have the opportunity to bring you over to the LED side, and they've got some new cutting-edge spectrum technology. And yeah, they definitely want to get something worked out with you, brother, to do your garden. So it's gonna be cool. But yeah, they should be on next week. And they got some really good content to bring to us. So can't wait.
Very cool. Very cool. We will continue to try to bring on people to learn, because to be honest with you, I don't know about the rest of the panel, but when I have people on, I learn just as much as everybody else, because it's the variation we have on here. Like this week, I've been using the Method 1 for, I don't know, about a month. It's really cool that we actually have the creator in here. Same thing with the Xtreme products. We use this all the time. So we'll continue to kind of do that stuff. So I wanted to make sure that we had no more questions to ask Malik before I do the next thing that I'm going to do.
Nope, no more questions I have here, so.
Cool, that's what I'm talking. All right, I want to kick over to the chat real quick. I don't actually watch the chat, so I wanted to thank everybody. Joshua Streamsland is in here tonight, so he is our resident, another no-till guy. Him and Mr. Nice do a good bit of no-till stuff, so we always appreciate having him. I wanted to thank all of my moderators, as I always do. Without you guys, especially the late-night mods, it gets pretty crazy in here. This is a public channel, so people can just jump by, and according to what we're doing, we get all kind of stuff. So sometimes, especially DungBeetle, sometimes DungBeetle sit there literally watching the chat without stopping, just to keep people at bay. So we really appreciate it. Baby, I want to thank you for coming on the panel tonight, and we hope you will always join. When you're here, you can actually be here with me, but we had a really good idea. I got another mic so that me and you will both have mics. So it'll work differently. It'll work better. It'll be like a double studio. So I can't wait till you are on my show as well.
Awesome. Thank you so much for letting me come in.
Oh, no, always, always. So what's the first thing you're going to do in the garden when you get here?
See how everybody is doing and evaluate it.
they've grown. They like the garden. They like everything. So they're jumping. And I got to tell you, whatever recipe Soil Patrick has down for this Soil King Big Roots, it jumps. I know not everybody outside Northern California is using his product, but it's really nice to have a product that performs so well. And I realize we're just talking about soil, but our plants on the deck right now are some of the happiest they've ever been, and we've given them nothing but absolute water.
I did notice that with my clones as well. When I first planted them into the soil, it only took a week for them to take off. They had big, long roots, really fat roots, and they had taken off much quicker than normal.
Patrick certainly has it down. Somebody wants to know if Remo uses Remo drum heads. I doubt it. Do you use Remo drum heads, Remo?
Totally. Why not?
I love that guy.
Playing me a royalty, but I play bass guitar, not drums.
Okay, I got you. I was trying to catch a question. Somebody said, I grow for my son who is a pediatric patient. I'm using 1,000-watt high-pressure sodium right now, but I'm thinking switching to Spider plus LED for thoughts. Well, my thoughts are, I mean, as long as you can deal with the heat and the power use from an HPS, obviously that's what we use. The reason we're talking about switching over to different lights is technology exists today. For the same amount of money, you can produce more intense light from a different kind of source. That's why a lot of people are switching to ceramic metal halides. A lot of people are switching to the DEs. But it's quite funny, the discussion we have a lot of times when we're talking to these guys. Green Jeans was this morning was talking about it all, and he was actually saying, he's like, you got to be careful when you make recommendations of this stuff to somebody like Sub and Jill, because we run gardens that, even though we use old single-ended bulb and giant reflector technology, I mean, me and Jill run between 2 and 2.5 pounds per bulb in our rooms.
I run just as much my lights in my garden as he does in his garden.
Yeah, so we make changes slowly, but I am looking forward to a little bit of LED love to kind of see what's going on. We've always, and I'm not trashing Matt, but we've always used the Lush lighting as the standard for LEDs, and we now know that all LED lights are not created equal. So let me ask real quick, because I got him in here. Duke, you run the DEs, right? You guys are running Gavitas, or you running another brand?
No, I don't use Gavitas. We do Nanoluxes here. They seem to be the ones that we're going with. I like the profile of the ballast. You know, it's just real nice. They're durable, and they don't give me problems where I have to get the damn ladder out. So I dig it.
Here is the Nanolux DE that Duke uses, Brother Grimm uses. I was checking them out last night. It's a 208 240 volt fixture, ballast mount, and they have it right here for $273.51. It is one of the ones I am considering. So Duke was nice enough to go over that with me last night. The one thing we've got to figure out is clearance on the light, but I think we will actually be okay on that. So
we'll go half and half on the room.
Yeah, we'll try it. I am really tired. Before you came in, baby, we were talking. I'm really tired of running the California weather through my hoods. Actually prevent all that rain and all that shit. It sure would be nice. So thinking about increasing the air conditioner and going on the hoods, but slow transition.
Slow changes.
Slow changes.
I don't want
to. Me neither. But I tell you, we were talking to Grow Mouse this morning. Any guys that if you missed the tech talk this morning with Grow Mouse and Green Jeans, go check it out, because these guys actually know the math behind it. And for a 13% increase in power usage, that included the air conditioner, I get a 38% increase in PAR. So that's usable photons in your grow room. And I am not much into grafts. I'm into bud. I'm into big giant glass jars full of weed. But when somebody, science guy, tells me that I can get 38% increase in usable light, I have to take a look at it.
Well, but you know, there's also a difference too, because under the LED lights, such as the Lush lighting, I didn't like the quality of the bud that came from that. It was soft. I hated the texture of it. It never got it quite as firm. I just didn't like it. In my opinion, it didn't. It couldn't stay in the jar as long. It oxidized and got old quicker than a jar of bud grown under a Hortolux, Big Light. And the bud,
exactly.
The bud density is different, definitely. And
but again,
it cough more from the LED grown bud because of the structure of it.
I thought it was a little harsher too, but again, new LEDs are a little different. But we're not even talking that. So a DE bulb is it's a high discharge light that produces about twice the usable photons as a Hortolux. The problem with using them is their heat. They generate a lot of heat. They generate a lot of heat from the bulb, and they generate a lot of radiant heat from the plants themselves. So it's basically like bringing the sunshine indoors. The problems with them are clearance and the heat. So it's two things you have to battle. But I wouldn't mind taking a look at one.
Yeah, we already have a heat.
But yeah, heat issue. So, and by the way, on that subject, the guy is supposed to be coming to take a look at it Monday. So, all right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming. We've actually gone a little bit over the 7:30 time. I don't like to keep everybody on here too long. So I want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out. I do want to urge anybody in chat that wants to come on the music show. Me and MzJill will probably be on around 8:30 or so tonight. So if you want to come check that out, let us know. I don't run the show officially like everybody else. So I kind of do it till we're done. So I think we're done. So now it's just time to smoke some bowls. Everybody in for smoking some bowls?
Always down.
Absolutely.
What are you smoking tonight?
I got some. I don't know exactly what strain it is, but it's the sativa sauce entry. It's like straight lemon peel, bro. It's so good.
Is that from the cup entry?
Yeah, and I got that Moxie Tangy too. That shit's off the hook. It's so terpy.
And Billy are talking about him running something for me at the SoCal Cup.
I know.
I worry about time, but I will say these extract guys seem to know their business. So it takes him like a couple of days from the time he gets product to make what he makes. So
yeah. He knows what he's doing, bro. This shit's loud and it's amazing. I can't imagine making it with some of your shit, and especially like the Pinot or one of your personal hash strains. Oh my God, it's gonna be out of this world.
The Pinot's
they blast.
Say what,
what'd you say, baby?
The Pinot's quite amazing. I love the Pinot bud.
Yeah, I think it'll be a really good Moxie concentrate. That'll be amazing.
I'm going to. I want to get a bud of that for you to see real quick.
Yeah, hell yeah. What's the flavor profile on it? Is that chocolate cherry one or?
It's
hard
to mother Pinot.
Yeah, but it's hard to. He's saying with the test, it's hard to explain. It's a blackberry, but it's got so much going on. I hate to say it tastes like hash, but it actually tastes like hash.
Really? That's never bad.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. I know it's killer because you love it. So
I was surprised that Billy told me that, because I told him it was wet and the freezer fresh, and I asked him if he wanted me to take it out and cure it, and he actually told me, I'm showing you, baby. He actually told me that no, he can blast it right out of the freezer. So I was surprised. Baby, those are some enormous buds there.
Huh, look at those.
They're so nice too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks like good
Jill grows
extract.
really big buds. Jill grows really big buds because that OCD thing, she makes sure she removes every single lower off the plant. So all the energy goes up top.
Yeah, she maximizes potential for sure.
All right, I moved a bunch of soil out in the garden today. I'm sore as shit, let me tell you.
You guys finally get them pots all ready, though? They ready to take plants now?
We're good to go, dude. Yeah, we're good to go. And I got a kind of a bummer, and it is what it is. You know me, I live my life on this thing. So I guess Skunkworks is overwhelmed because he didn't show up today on time.
Oh, man.
I wasn't overly rude or anything. I said, dude, we need to talk. I said, you've committed to this. And he said, basically, you can't commit to it anymore. So I'm looking. Yeah, I know. I'm really fucking pissed. That's twice the amount of work for me, Jill Badger, but maybe Sid will step up and help us a little bit. So.
Well, I'm also hoping, I would like to find one younger guy that is able to move quick, able to clean up, take orders, pick up behind himself, and, you know, basically help me out. I could use some help sometimes. I need help with washing pots and different things. And that's one of the things that would be a job, would be to wash out the pots with the vinegar. I clean my pots every time after they're done being used.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I'm seeing this thing. There's a little thing. It's chilling back there behind Subcool, and I think it would be a wonderful addition to the crew to help you with all of that.
I really like him, but my only requirement also would, well, not my only requirement. I have a few requirements, but one of my requirements would be that when you tell me you're going to be somewhere, you have to be there.
Yeah.
And if you can't be, you have to call, and it has to be a good reason.
Got to communicate, yep.
Yep.
More Cannabis Cartoons is in the channel. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Also, Loki, he sent us a video, a DVD. God, I'm fucking this up. I'm stoned. He sent us a CD for Mendo Dope, and not only did we rock out, but we put it in his hand. So, thought that was pretty cool. I see Growmouse is still in the channel. I wish he was in chat. Completely off subject. I wonder when Growmouse is going to get his damn helmet fixed. Coming back from the cup, they broke fucking Growmouse's helmet.
Oh, no.
He works with a so watch me still do it. I want you guys to know that Jill still does. So we've got Remo in the channel, who's an old school joint smoker, and we've got Jill in the channel, who is an old school bong smoker. So it's one of the few people I know that still pulls a 22-inch tube every time she smokes.
Huh.
Go for it, baby.
She was dabbing at the cup, dude, and I looked at her and I said, "Oh, Jill, I missed that picture. I didn't get it." And she goes, "That's okay. I'll take another one. You should have seen the dab she took to begin with. And the second one was even fucking bigger." She was like, "I'm good. Don't worry. We'll do it again." I was like, "Hell yeah, I get as many takes as I want." She'll just keep taking hits, bro. She's got iron lungs.
She does. Now, I will say, and she'll get mad at me a little bit, she finally, all the bong loads she takes is finally, she's like, okay. She goes, this bong is kicking my ass. Because when she smoke out, she looks like 15, 20 big bong hits.
Finally did you in?
No, well, you know, it's my throat from all of
yeah.
I need to start smoking hash, I guess. I don't like hash.
Yeah. Well, I found a little... I found irritation with it when I started smoking hash. My throat was a little...
Remo, are you a dabber? I know Remo's Joint City, but Remo, do you do dabs and stuff?
I do dabs. I got a good collection of rigs. I can't take those gram dabs like all those kids, but, you know, when we're going to get medicated, dabbing's the way to go.
He took dabs.
And do you... Oh, hell yeah, you got a nice recycler. Oh, yeah.
He took dabs to Jamaica and fucked the whole country up.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a really cool one. So I'll be right back. This is totally custom, so blow your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, cool. That's it. And I'm going to tell you something about Jill. So me and Jill have tried to eat, well, I've tried to get Jill stoned on cannabis a lot. And she always, when she'd eat it, she would say, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't affect me. And I'm thinking the whole time, bullshit. You just haven't eaten enough. So I forget when it was. It was a couple years ago. She finally said, all right. She goes, I will eat whatever amount of cannabis you want me to eat one more time if you will leave me alone about it.
Yeah.
I think she ate 500 milligrams. I think.
It was a couple of those.
Or maybe it's 3 of your
wow.
Super duper cookies. Yeah.
It was enough that it was enough to get you ripped.
Yeah, I ate, I think I had 3 and she had 3. So I was high. I was FUBAR high. And she never got high. Now, she got nauseous from all the fucking cannabis, but she never got stoned. So like at literally 11 o'clock, I was like, are you sure you don't feel nothing? And she goes, I really don't. So Jill doesn't eat cannabis because I swear to God, 500 milligrams and she didn't eat. So fucking weird. You get used to it if you eat a lot of it. I can tell you that. Karen's peppermint patties are pretty daggone good. Tony likes her brownies, big giant brownies. And so does Green Goalie. What you got there for the custom rig, big Remo? Oh, look at that. It's your face, dude.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Dude, that is badass.
Awesome. This was a present. It came from Tim from Kind Selections, and it was made by MzJill Glass. It was a cool app. But if you look, there's a light bulb on the back. and there's marijuana plants in big pots all the way around. It's a themed pipe. And it's all carved in. I guess they carved all that into the glass. It's sick. Even my face is carved in there. That's crazy.
That is really sweet. Yeah, though, that's a really cool piece. I like it very much.
That's very cool.
And this is another one of my favorites made by an artist. His name's Croix Hamilton. And it's a recycler. And he put my favorite color on there. I like supporting local artists. This one's from Skullfish Glass. It's called the Dab Sauce. And it's supposed to look like Kikkoman teriyaki sauce.
Right, yeah. That's cool. I actually like that one a lot. It's got a nice set to it.
And then this one's from Pulse Glass. It's called the Leaning Tongue. And it's got a tongue diffuser in there. If you see that thing?
Yeah, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, I like to dab. I think making are a lot of fun too.
So I want to show you one of my new pieces. Well, not a new piece, but a piece I haven't used. Check it out.
Oh, that's tight. That's badass. It's got good form, MzJill.
She's even got feet.
Very nice.
It's hard to see.
Very cute. You haven't used it yet?
Yeah. And her tramp stamp.
Yeah, that rig has a nice body for sure.
But, you know, she's a transgender, though.
Oh, my God. She's still got the penis. Oh, no.
That's fucking
I think it's called a strap-on dildo.
Yep.
Something like that, right?
She needs her own bathroom.
Some free-range glass right there.
I can't remember who made it for me. Someone made it for me.
Actually, no, too. It's not Bill, though. It's not Illusion. It's not that.
I think it might have been Bill.
Think it was Bill?
I think it was.
Yeah. We have a lot of friends. So now go ahead and tell you guys. So I know it's not. So I don't let people give me rigs. I've been offered rigs all the time, and I've never really taken anybody up on one. But if there's any old school tube makers out there still, y'all let Jill know, because I'm looking to get her a new piece. So you don't ever see nice water bongs featured anymore. But I'm gonna go try to find her.
I use real basic.
Yeah, basic, but works properly. Awesome. Dude, I guess it's about time, my friend. I want to thank you very much for coming on. I know it takes a lot of time out of your schedule to come on here and hang out for a couple hours. So thank you very much.
Yeah, man.
You got
cool, dude.
You guys can follow Duke Diamond on Instagram, Duke Diamond, Brothers Grim Seeds, as well as what's your website again, Duke?
brothersgrimseeds.com.
They're pretty much taking over that market of flowers, the G13s, the Apollos, the Princesses, working with a lot of those strains that we actually worked with in the old days. So check them out. Good people. Want to thank for coming on, as well as Josh for coming on with Xtreme. Mykos, always Minnesota Nice in the house for teaching us everything we need to know about soil. Remo, I want to make sure everybody goes over and checks out everything he's got going. Everything he does online is fucking hilarious and or educational. Remo, you are welcome to come join the panel anytime Saturday night. We're always bullshitting. DJ show where we just play music. So. Yep, thank you very much. So, all right, Minnesota Nice, you want to take us out, big guy? That's going to do it for tonight's show. We thank everybody for coming on. We will be doing an after show tonight.
Dope.
Yeah, Minnesota Nice.
Nice nug, Remo. He's queuing the Mendo dope.
It's called me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. WeedNerd, nothing but the hard grade. So won't you come my way? So won't you come my way? WeedNerd, it's called me smoke a lot. Don't give me that, me no wanna crack. Now we no study that. WeedNerd, nothing but the hard grade. Smoke a lot of herb, smoke a lot of herb.
Come on, weed nerds, let's all get down to that old school sound with that K-Lou pound. Put seeds in the ground, tilling up the dirt. Shovel in my hand and I'm putting in work. WeedNerd, trying to soar, growing the killer. In the backyard with the mountain gorilla. Game stiller. Still another, what you think? MzJill's got
Thanks for everybody for stopping by. You know the deal. Do something nice for everybody. Be excellent in life and have a dank day.
In the dough, got the whole team with me. Iggy Pops, my city's hot. Ukiah, California, got the green on lock. Chillin' in my weed crop, blowing some herb. Dope boy, OD, yeah, I'm a weed nerd.